Hello Darts Nutz, welcome to Darts Review channel. In this video I'm just doing an update, and it's an update on the Jose de Sousa darts. And now I've already reviewed the Type 2 and the Type 3, but Trinidad have now come out with a new weight. So they've come out with a 20 gram in the Type 2 and a 24 gram in the Type 3. Now, when I did the review on the Type 2, it was in a different packaging, but anyway, I'm not going to do a full review. It's just like a quick update so you can have a quick look at them. But they very kindly sent me 4 sets. I don't know why they sent me 4 sets, but because they've sent me 4 sets, I may keep one of them, probably the Type 2, because I think I preferred that one over the Type 3. And the other 3, I'm going to do giveaways. So let's check them out. Right, so this is just a quick update video because I've already done a detailed review, so I'm not going to go in too much detail. But when I reviewed the Type 2 before, they didn't come in this packaging, but I think around the time when I did the review, I can't remember if they just switched to this packaging just before I'd put the review out, or maybe it was just after. But this packaging is obviously quite neat, but when I did the other review, I think they came with the Condor Zero Stress stems, and packaging, I say, is quite neat. It's got this foam section, nice big point holder, and this time though they've come with the short polycarbonate stems and standard shape flights. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you a close-up of both the sets so you can have a little compare, but I think I preferred the Type 2 for a couple of reasons. When it was the 18 gram, it was drilled out quite a long way, so it seemed to suit my throw better, and also it was a little bit more grippy than the Type 3, but I'll explain that in a minute when I do a close-up. But just for now, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to give them a quick measure and just see how they all compare. Not a quick measure, a quick weigh. So I'm just going to compare the weight just as a quick comparison here. So 20 grams exactly. 20 grams exactly again. That one let it down a little bit. 20.07, still close though. And these are the Type 3. Wobbled it all over. So 24.08. 24.09. And 24.10, so again very closely matched. So what I'll do next is I'll show you a close-up of each just so we can have a compare. Right, this is just a comparison to show you. Now for me, the Type 2 was a little bit more grippy overall. Well, I should say on the front half. On both barrels, the rear half is less grippy than the front, but I think the Type 3 is probably more grippy on the rear section than the Type 2. On the Type 2, fingers, or at least my fingers, seem to slide easy on there, whereas on the Type 3, you definitely feel like the grip is catching you. But the front half on the Type 2, it's kind of a similar level to the rear. Maybe it's just because of the newness, but you do feel little edges on them kind of oval sections. But the Type 2 version, definitely more grippy. So there you go. Which one do you prefer? I mean, in looks wise, I think maybe the Type 3 maybe just a little bit better looking, but there's not a lot in it. But for me as a front gripper, definitely the Type 2. So here's a look at the dimensions. On the bottom we've got the Type 2 18 gram that I reviewed before, and the new one on the top, Type 2 20 gram. Now the biggest difference for me is the Type 2 that I reviewed before, 18 grams, came with a 26mm point, and the new ones have come with a 30mm point, and the rest of the measurements, length and the sections is pretty much the same, just a slight difference between the smooth nose and the smooth part on the end of the barrel. But the Type 2 20 gram is 6.4mm, Type 2 18 gram 6.2mm, and the Type 2 18 gram was 37.1mm drilled from the rear, and the new one is 28.4mm. So here's the Type 3 24 gram and Type 3 22 gram comparison. Now these ones are more closely matched, and the main difference is the 24 gram is 6.4mm wide. The 22 gram version was 19.2mm drilled out from the rear, and the 24 gram version is 15.9mm from the rear. So here's a comparison of the balance with nothing attached with the 18 gram Type 2 and 20 gram Type 2. Now balance is pretty much identical really, but bear in mind that the 20 gram version has got the slightly longer point fitted. So here's another comparison, this time with a medium stem and standard flight fitted. Now strangely there's a little bit of a difference, so it's always a little bit hard to balance these, but I don't really know what's going on there, whether it's to do with the way it's drilled out, and who knows. But it's just a very slight difference on that one. So here we are with the Type 3 22 gram and 24 gram with nothing attached, and this time they've both got the same length points, and there's a little bit more difference. The Type 3 center of gravity was around 22, and the Type 3 is closer to 24, so there you go, make of it what you will. So same again, this time with the medium stems and standard flights, and once again the difference is only minimal, maybe about a millimeter if that. So it's strange how these little changes can make just a small difference on some and a slightly bigger difference on others. So I'll just leave a couple of pictures of the darts so you can have a close look and decide which one you prefer. On the next picture you'll be able to see a bit of a better close up of the two together. So that's basically the end of the video, just to update on the new weights. Thanks for watching and happy darting.